Just last week, Tiger Woods told reporters he was trying to get in shape to make it to the Masters after playing competitively for the first time in more than a year. Days later, the golfing legend was seen staring out the window of an SUV, disassociating after making it somewhere else, jail. Woods' career is back in the rough tonight following his second DUI arrest and fourth high-profile car crash. He won't be competing, and he also won't be driving, at least not with anyone in the Trump family. Woods is dating Vanessa Trump, President Trump's former daughter-in-law, and she's also the mother of 5 of President Trump's grandchildren. The Secret Service reportedly doesn't want Tiger anywhere near the wheel if Trump's grandchildren are around. My next guest has history with Woods. Dave Aronberg is the former state attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida. He prosecuted Tiger Woods for his first DUI in Florida back in 2017. Dave, great to have you back. So, as I said, you were the prosecutor in the first case after he was found asleep at the wheel on the side of the road. He pleaded guilty in that case to lesser charges than driving impaired. Why?
Elizabeth, good to be back with you. Our county has a first-time DUI diversion program. This is just for first-time offenders when there's no accident, when there are no children in the car. And the hope is that it's helpful for rehabilitation rather than just punishment, because even if you're convicted of a first-time DUI, you're not going to get jail time for it in Palm Beach County, according to juries and the judges in our county. So we thought we'd have a better approach. In the past, we had only about a 50% conviction rate on first-time DUI offenses. That's how tough these cases were. Right. So if you're eligible, well, I'm sorry?
No, so did he go to rehab as part of that whole plea deal?
It's the toughest diversion program in the country in that it's the only diversion program of its kind endorsed by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You do have to go to classes, you have to get substance abuse treatment, you do 50 to 75 hours of community service, you have random drug testing, you have a license suspension.
Right.
The sanctions are much tougher than if you just plead guilty and get your sanction for a first-time DUI. It's a very low recidivism rate, so this is one of the rare cases where someone committed another DUI offense after the program. By the way, we thought the program was a big success with Tiger Woods because after he completed the program and took responsibility for his actions, he won the Masters. Unfortunately, now 9 years later, we're here again.
But I'm asking specifically, do you know if he actually went to rehab to seek treatment for prescription drug abuse?
Well, he has to go through classes and a level of treatment within the program. So,
because you and I both know that's different.
Right. Well, and you know, you have to have everything confirmed, including his community service. So he fulfilled all the requirements of the program.
Okay.
And yeah, and I was there when he pled guilty at the end to show up in person. Didn't send a representative. We made him show up in person to make sure he was treated like everyone else.
Then a few years later, he was in this terrible car accident in Los Angeles where he rolled his car several times, almost had his leg amputated. His injuries were so bad. Was there ever any investigation in that case into whether he was driving under the influence?
Well, that was a different jurisdiction, so I don't know if there was law enforcement activity there or if it was just investigated as an accident rather than a DUI crime.
That's what it appears to be. Okay, in this latest arrest, he refused a urine test that would show the presence of drugs. He blew negative for alcohol. But officers on the scene say he looked impaired. But how will prosecutors try and prove their case of driving under the influence without any lab test results?
It's going to be very difficult. When he was charged back in 2017, he submitted to a urinalysis, and then we had the toxicology report. Here, he refused the urinalysis, and he blew a 0.00. So if you're going to show that he was impaired by an illegal or legal prescription drug, you're going to have to show that he failed the roadside sobriety test as a result of his impairment. And that's going to be tough because his defense lawyers are certainly going to say that he's had a history of sports injuries and surgeries, and he had just been in a rollover accident. So you're going to assume that he's not going to pass these tests. And that's why the judge.
That's why he was wobbly and
Right.
couldn't stand on one leg and touch his nose or something like that. Listen, I know that when you did the toxicology test in 2017, it came up positive for a plethora of drugs.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods has had countless surgeries on his body, from golf injuries as well as related to that 2021 car accident. And You know better than most, because of your crackdown on fraudulent rehabs in Florida, that the pain pills that doctors often prescribe patients after these surgeries are highly addictive.
They are. In fact, I spent much of my career going after the pill mills and then fighting the corruption in the drug treatment industry. Even wrote a book about it, which is behind me. So I'm well aware of it. And that's something that it's very tough to test for substances that are other than alcohol. You usually have to get a blood test, but then you can only force someone to take a blood test if there was an accident involving death or serious bodily injury. Here, we're very thankful no one was hurt. You can voluntarily submit to a urinalysis, which will tell you something, but here he said no, and that in itself is a crime now. There's a new law in Florida that says if you don't submit to a urinalysis, it's a low-level misdemeanor.
Well, Dave, if you know you aren't on drugs, you'd of course say, sure, I'll do anything to make sure I get to walk away without any charges, that I get to go straight home instead of to jail for 8 hours as he did. The fact that he refused to take the urine test is an implication of guilt.
That will be used in court.
Right.
Yes. And Elizabeth, what you just said will be part of the prosecutor's closing argument. They're going to say, look, he had every ability to tell us, and he said no. Why would he say no? So you can point to that and create a negative inference. Now, keep in mind, the refusal to take the urinalysis occurred after the arrest. So if the defense lawyers can say there was no probable cause for the arrest, then everything gets suppressed, right? Everything after the arrest goes away, including the refusal to take the urinalysis.
It'll be an interesting legal case to see as it unfolds. The whole thing is just terribly sad. You know, it's just sad, the whole thing. See somebody who was once so iconic continue to struggle in some way with something. Dave Aronberg, great to talk to you as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.